You're watching TheStreet.com TV. This is Wall Street Confidential with Jim Cramer. Hi, Jim. Last night, Dell reported results that beat expectations, also slashing its workforce by 10%. But in terms of what their strategic plan is going forward, they haven't disclosed that yet.
Well, that's perfect. You don't want to know it. Michael Dell is, it turned out he came back for a reason, and the reason was he can fix it. And you're just making the leap of faith. And Michael Dell's not Steve Jobs, but he's very close to it. And I would think that you buy Dell hand over fist here. This is the beginning of the first good quarter. They annualized some really, really easy comparisons. It turns out that there was some gross margin to be gained. I didn't think there was. I wasn't a doubter because I knew that the guy wouldn't come back for nothing. But Dell's become a cheap stock. And I think that you've got 9 months to buy Dell and continue to see it go up. I think it works its way to 35. I think it's surprising that it's only up $1 here, $1 and change. I'd be buying the stock hand over fist, just as a belief that Michael Dell is just beginning. The fact that he can have this headcount reduction tells me that Dell was much more fat than I thought. I didn't think it had that. That was a wrong judgment by me. I think that it goes now with Hewlett-Packard as the stock doing. I own Hewlett-Packard for ActionAlertsPlus.com, and the stock has uniquely performed much more poorly than I expected. And I'm now beginning to think that it's performing much more poorly because Dell is going to be a renewed competitor. As long as Dell was beating Hewlett-Packard, Hewlett-Packard had a lid on it. And then Hewlett-Packard started taking, really starting to take share from Dell. I think Dell's back. And it's not tempering my enthusiasm because there's room for both. But Hewlett ain't going to go as high as I thought it was now.
All right, and one more question, though, about Dell selling to retailers now, going to Walmart. Right. I mean, for an investor who's trying to look at what is Dell doing currently, and besides the fact that Michael Dell's back, which is a positive, but in terms of their actions, what do you see as sort of signs of positivity, actual concrete things that they're doing?
None.
Nothing?
No, don't want one either. I mean, remember, the way you want to invest is you want to have a thesis. And the thesis plays out as long as the numbers play out. And what you want to do is say that Michael Dell will get you the numbers. I don't care if he sells it to Best Buy. Maybe he sells it door to door. Michael Dell knows more than I do about what to do. Okay? So to judge, there are only a couple people, I'll say this about furniture. There are a couple people in the world whose judgment, Steve Jobs, I wouldn't question his judgment. I don't question Eddie Lampert's judgment, despite the fact that the quarter was absolutely horrible. I don't question the judgment of Mike Ullman at JCPenney. I think he's really smart. I don't question Mackie McDonald at VF Corp. I think that Farah at Ralph Lauren. I mean, these are guys I just bank with. And when they have a judgment, you kind of go with them, not against it. Bob Niplock at Lowe's Corp is a guy that I just trust him. If he's making a strategic move, I believe the strategic move is going to be smart. Alan Mulally at Ford Motor is one of those guys. If he's making strategic moves, I'm not going to second guess them because of what he did at Boeing, which is really rather miraculous. Neville Isdell at Coca-Cola. Article today in the Journal about him revitalizing the Philippines completely misses the whole point. He's revitalizing the whole institution. He is another game changer. Ivan Seidenberg, an amazing over the long-term transformation of a really bad company to a good company. If he were tomorrow announce that he's going to move very aggressively with cable to Michigan, I would not say that is stupid. I wouldn't say that Dell's moving into Walmart stupid. I would say that Michael Dell made a decision, and the decision is going to be a good one because there's certain people who are PE makers, they're multipliers, and Dell's one of those. And they don't. And by the way, Mark Hurd is too at Hewlett-Packard, so that's why it's kind of a duel. But you've got to understand when you buy these stocks, you're investing in a man. And you either trust the man to make the right judgment better than you could, or you don't. And if you don't, get the heck out of it.
All right, Jim Cramer on how leadership can move a stock. All right, Jim Cramer for Wall Street Confidential on TheStreet.com TV. Don't go away.